What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome back to the newest and last NFL positional tier maker list video on the channel. And today we're going through the last spot on our depth chart, which is the safety position. So this is going to include frees and strongs as we try to make a slightly less controversial video than our cornerback rankings. But I mean, cornerback was always going to be the most tricky along with wide receivers and quarterbacks because there's just so many, and the opinions across the board are quite polarizing. So for today's video, I like to start off by putting a player in S tier and one in F tier so you kind of understand the parameters that we are working within. So starting with an S tier, I'm actually honestly going to start right with the first guy, and that is Jamal Adams of the New York Jets. Number 2 graded safety from Pro Football Focus last year. Following up, this was his sophomore year, a good rookie season. That if we did this after his rookie year, he'd be B. And the fact that you're now the number 2 safety from Pro Football Focus and your stats were insane, gotta put you S tier. 1 interception, 12 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles, 3.5 sacks, 115 tackles, 9 TFLs. He's an absolute stud, and I think actually an interesting argument now is who's the better LSU prospect coming out? Is it gonna be Jamal Adams, or is it gonna be maybe this Grant Delpit dude that's doing his thing right now in Death Valley? I think that's an interesting debate, but for right now, I'm taking Jamal Adams and putting him into my S tier. To find an F tier, we'll go with Buda Baker of the Cardinals. Now, F tier doesn't mean that you're just garbage. The F tier means that you are the lowest rung of the good safeties in the National Football League. I think Buda Baker, versatile DB for the Cardinals, plays a little bit of nickel, plays a little bit of free, puts a little bit of strong, does a little bit of everything for that defense, but kind of had a slight down year. But then again, mostly everyone on that Cardinals team did. I think Chandler Jones is probably the only guy on that defense that didn't have a down year. So, you know, it's kind of expected, but still F tier, and there's lots of upside there. Moving on, we have Adrian Amos of the now Green Bay Packers, formerly of the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to put Amos, I'm going to put him in a B tier. I think that was a great pickup for the Green Bay Packers. He's super athletic. Last season, number 8 safety from Pro Football Focus, 2 interceptions, 9 pass breakups, 73 tackles. Very good, very athletic, and hopefully we'll be able to shore up the Green Bay Packers safety issues. Another Green Bay Packers safety just down here. We have Darnell Savage. This also includes all the other first-round safeties, which the Raiders got one. The dude from Mississippi State, I feel like there was another safety picked. I'm just having a brain fart right now, but he represents all the rookie safeties. I just put him here because I've been pounding the table for him for quite some time. You know, between him and Amos, elite sideline to sideline tracking ability in that Packers secondary. Next up, we have Jesse Bates of the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to put Bates C tier, which is about the peak that I can put a guy that had a good rookie season and or a one-year wonder. Last season, number 12 rated safety from Pro Football Focus, 3 interceptions, 7 pass breaks, 111 tackles. Loved his tape coming out of Wake Forest. So I was pounding the table for this guy last year during the draft. And I think ultimately when I was recapping a very good Bengals draft last season, I said he was almost as good of a pick as like maybe even like a Joe Mixon type. So, kudos to the Bengals for drafting well. Now you get a better head coach in Zach Taylor, and maybe he'll be able to lead you to the promised land. He had a partner in crime in Sean Williams, who we are actually going to put here in, we'll put him in D tier. A little bit of a one-hit wonder. Good season last year, 5 interceptions, 9 pass breakups, 110 tackles. But, you know, don't get it twisted. I think Jesse Bates is the more talented of the safeties, and that is reflected in our tiers. We have Von Bell of the New Orleans Saints here. I'm going to put Von Bell just an F tier. He's a solid, good safety. Built, you know, I think he graded like mid-round, mid-overall, like 30s, 40s for Pro Football Focus. Last season, just 88 tackles, no real pass breakups, but, you know, slightly better than what's his name? Marcus Williams, who made this, you know, the Minnesota Miracle. We don't want to bring that up. Von Bell looked a little bit better of the 2 last season, as Williams had a little bit of a sophomore slump. So, you know, we'll put him here in F tier. We have Eric Berry, who unfortunately I'm at to put into D tier right now, just because his availability the last couple seasons has been sparse. I mean, incredible story, one of my favorite players in the National Football League. I'm hoping he gets picked up by someone, still a free agent, and easily could get back up to B or A tier if he can put together, you know, more than 6 games in a season. But injuries is the only reason why he's not at least ranked in the B, and that's kind of a shame. Hopefully he can get back and stay healthy for another year or 2, or for how many more years he wants to play in the NFL. Next up, we have Kevin Byard from the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to put him up into S tier. Number 4 rated safety from Pro Football Focus, 4 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, 90 tackles. This is coming off of a breakout year last season where he led the league in interceptions, where, you know, he'd probably be B tier, very much like Jamal Adams. I think both of them would have been B tier if this was done last season, and the fact that they were able to follow it up with big 2018s has them both up into S tier for me. You know, a little bit different players. Jamal Adams kind of the more old school style if you had to group him in, whereas Byard's more of that cover guy. Obviously, you can tell by his interception numbers, but both these guys are tremendous safeties. We have Patrick Chung of the New England Patriots. I'm going to put him F tier. That's a little bit salty because he was terrible with the Eagles, but we know he's scheme specific, as he only ever excels in Bill Belichick's scheme. Interception, 84 tackles. He's just solid. He's just solid at this point in his career. Landon Collins, formerly of the Giants, now of the Washington Redskins. We'll put him in a C tier. Definitely had a down year last season. Was not particularly great, but you got to remember, like, what, 3 years ago, he was debatably the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. So we'll take that regression, and from a talent standpoint, he's probably B, fringe A. But coming off a down year, we'll put him at C for now. And if we did this and revised it halfway through the next year, knowing that the Washington Redskins generally can get the most of their safeties, I wouldn't be shocked if, say, week 8, he's back up into B, if not peaking into A tier. Last season, I don't even think he graded out for Pro Football Focus within like the top 20 safeties, 96 tackles and 5 TFLs. Next up, we have Malik Hooker of the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm going to put Hooker, he's going to go into D tier, definitely trending in the right direction. The number 14 safety from Pro Football Focus, 2 interceptions, 44 tackles, definitely starting to build a rapport after he was banged up a little bit his rookie season for the Colts. And again, another guy that's definitely stock is trending in the right direction, and he could easily see his way up into C or B with a strong start to the 2019 season. We have Micah Hyde, who we're going to put up into C tier, maybe sleeping on him just a little bit. Pro Football Focus, number 6 rate safety, 2 interceptions, 58 tackles. I mean, I think he's a tweener between C and B. I just think because the stats usually go to the other safety, he's just, he is really good for Pro Football Focus. We can't let Pro Football Focus completely blind us when we're making these rankings. You might say number 6 C, that's ridiculous. Statistically, I like to see a good balance between the eyeball test and the Pro Football Focus nerds. And I feel like Hyde just fails it a little bit when it comes to stats, but still, considering the elite safeties, saying he's middle of the park, so that means he's still a really good one. I think that is a fair assessment. Next up, we have Eddie Jackson of the Chicago Bears. I'm going to put Eddie Jackson up into A tier. Had a really good rookie season and followed up by being the number 1 rated corner from Pro Football Focus. 6 interceptions, 15 pass breakups, 51 tackles. I just feel like, considering over a 2-year span, has his 2 years been as strong as Byard or Jamal Adams? I think just slightly below the rung, but if he could still play at that high level without Vic Fangio, without Adrian Amos there, he is absolutely going to be moving into S tier sooner than later. But for right now, I feel like A is a safe spot to put him. Next up, we have Derwin James, who, like some of the rookie linebackers, I'm actually going to break the rule of where I said rookies can peak at C tier. Derwin James had an amazing rookie season, number 5 graded safety from Pro Football Focus, 3 interceptions, 13 pass breakups, 3.5 sacks, 105 tackles, pure ridiculousness. I mean, everyone in that Chargers secondary is very good, playing at a high level, but Derwin James was insane last season. So I'm gonna break the rule, which we did for a couple linebackers. I think Leighton Vander Esch and Darius Leonard broke that C tier grade to get up into B's. I think Mr. Derwin James can also have that award and title. Moving on, we have Malcolm Jenkins of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to put Malcolm Jenkins up into A tier. Maybe a slight bias, but not really. I mean, he's pretty much regarded as one of the best safeties in the National Football League, just even outside of the Eagles fan base. He's number 16 ranked safety from Pro Football Focus. 1 interception, 8 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles, 97 tackles, 6 TFLs. I mean, he does it all for the Philadelphia Eagles. Plays anywhere in safety, plays cornerback, plays money linebacker. And I feel like if he didn't play everywhere because of the injuries last season and just stuck to one position, his stats would have been even better. But I know the importance he brings to my Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, there's another really, really good safety that didn't grade out well from Pro Football Focus that I'm also going to put up fairly high. Because again, you can't let Pro Football Focus completely cloud your judgment. You need to have the eyeball test. And I've watched a lot of football last season, and Malcolm Jenkins is as good as it gets. We got John Johnson up next of the Rams. And I'm going to put John Johnson. He is going to go B tier for me right now. Fringe A, because he did the chopper style after he picked up Drew Brees. I was going to put him in A, but I can't let that be completely biased. I'll put him B tier. Number 7 graded safety from Pro Football Focus. 4 interceptions, 11 pass breakups, 119 tackles last year, but definitely trending in the right direction. And pretty much like any of these guys, Amos, Derwin James, and himself, they could find themselves in A tier if we get to revisit this. Next up, we have Rashad Jones of the Dolphins. I'm going to put him C tier. I think very similarly to Landon Collins. Didn't have a great year last season. 3 interceptions, 9 pass breakups, 72 tackles. But like 2-3 years ago, he was like debatably one of the best safeties in football. So that is just like your natural regression, and we'll let your floor here be C tier for the time being. We have Kyle Joseph of the Raiders. I'll put him F tier. Didn't really get utilized a whole lot to the back stretch of the season for the Raiders. I don't know why John Gruden didn't play him more. He had an interception, 48 tackles, but ball hawk out of West Virginia. Give him more snaps and he'll go up. He has a very high ceiling. We have DeMonte KZ from the Falcons. This is a tricky one. I'm going to put him at C. I know, it's one of those like things where he had 7 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, 82 tackles, but he's the number 18 rated corner from Pro Football Focus. So, we'll take the balance. We'll put the 1 year wonder whole tag on you and put you in C. That's about it. But a lot of turnovers. It's going to be interesting to see how the Falcons secondary shapes up next season with him. You have Ricardo Allen, Keanu Neal. I assume they might actually try him at nickel corner. We have Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. I'm going to put him C tier. Not the best of seasons last year. 2 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, 3 sacks, 89 tackles. Didn't even grade out as a top 20 safety from PFF. But still, we know Honey Badger is really good. So I can't put him below C tier. And now he got paid big bucks from the Kansas City Chiefs to go for the shoes of Eric Berry. I think he might be able to do that. Devin McCourty from the New England Patriots. We're going to put him up into B tier. Last season, number 11th ranked corner safety. He does it all, but we'll put him at safety for Pro Football Focus. He had 1 interception, 82 tackles, huge part of the Patriots Super Bowl run. He's really, really good. He's been really good for the last like 6-7 years, and was really like one of those first guys to make the move from corner to safety and pretty much do it seamlessly. We have Bradley McDougall of the Seattle Seahawks taking over for Cam Chancellor. We'll put him just into F tier. He's definitely trending the right direction. Had a nice season last year. 3 interceptions, 9 pass breakups, and 78 tackles. But for the time being, he's just like a key role player. Same goes with Rodney McLeod of the Philadelphia Eagles. Last season, only played in 3 games, 10 tackles, 4 pass breakups. His PFF rating would have had him top 10 if he was able to maintain that throughout the season. But I'm not simply going to project that. But when healthy, he is really, really good, especially against the run. We have Keanu Neal of the Atlanta Falcons, and because he's been hurt, banged up, I'm gonna put him C tier for now, and he's gonna be probably one of the first players that is, if he can get back and healthy for like 3-4 games next season, he's going up to B. I think he is as good of a strong safety in the National Football League, but we just need to see him get back healthy before I feel comfortable moving him back up to where I think he belongs, B tier, maybe even A if he hits the ground running. We have Jabril Peppers of the New York Giants, formerly the Browns. I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put Peppers D tier for now because he kind of had a breakout season, but it's a 1 year wonder, and it wasn't amazing. But he definitely, now that he's being more utilized properly, and I think the Giants will have to use him properly to fill in Landon Collins' shoes. We'll just put him D, and he's a whole lot of upside last season. 79 tackles and an interception for the Cleveland Browns, and obviously carried big value as they're able to move him for Odell Beckham Jr. We have Jordan Poyer of the Buffalo Bills. I'm gonna put him in the C tier. Last year, Jordan Poyer, 4 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, 100 tackles, 9 TFLs, but wasn't graded out for Pro Football Focus. I think that very much like Keanu Neal, he could be B if you're just straight up looking at it from a stat standpoint. But I'm going to be completely honest and plead the fifth. I don't watch a whole lot of Bills games. I don't know if he's one of those players that his stats are better than what he actually is playing, and maybe the inverse of Micah Hyde. I don't know how good it is Micah Hyde that makes Jordan Poyer's job easier, but I feel like it's just safe to put him out middle of the park for the best safeties in the National Football League. Demarius Randall is here. We're going to put him into D tier. Had a great season last year for the Browns. He had 4 interceptions, 9 pass breakups, 85 tackles. Didn't grade out particularly well for Pro Football Focus, but the stats were there for me to not put him in F tier and put him in D as he tries to emerge as another one of these very young, talented playmakers for the Cleveland Browns, and maybe another talented castaway formerly of the Packers, similarly along the lines of Morgan Burnett and Casey Hayward. We have Eric Reed of the Panthers. We'll put him F tier. God, this guy's a shit disturber, but he's pretty good. An interception, 71 tackles. Obviously there's a lot of people that don't like the off the field. I don't really care. I just kind of judge you on your on field. He's kind of a dick against the Eagles, but he's a good playmaker, so we'll put him in F. We have Justin Reed of the Houston Texans. Really good rookie season. Put him right here in F, though, with a very high ceiling. 3 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, and 88 tackles, but trending in the right direction. Definitely needs to stand up and really proves that he can be a standalone safety with no more Andre Hal, who retired, and no more Honey Badger, who moved on to the Chiefs. Next up, we have Harrison Smith of the Minnesota Vikings, and we're going to put him up here into S tier. Well, much like Malcolm Jenkins, didn't grade out particularly well from Pro Football Focus, number 14 amongst all the safeties. Still, we all know he's one of the best safeties, if not the best strong safety in the National Football League. 3 interceptions, 3 sacks, 84 tackles, 9 TFLs last season. Tremendous leader, quarterback of that defense. Yeah, I'm putting you S tier. I don't care what the PFF nerds say. We have DJ Swearinger, now of the Arizona Cardinals, formerly of the Redskins. And we'll put Swearinger into D tier here. Productive player, number 13 rated safety from Pro Football Focus last season. 4 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles, and 53 tackles. He's just solid. He's a solid guy that's bounced around. There's a reason why, if you're truly that good, he wouldn't have been moved around and got released. But he is productive, and especially if he's put in the right scheme to succeed, he will put up some interceptions, and he's a big hitter. And then finishing up with Earl Thomas, now of the Baltimore Ravens, which is weird. And he's also going into S tier. In only 4 games last season, 3 interceptions, 5 pass backups, 22 tackles. Honestly looked like he was going to be in that discussion for Defensive Player of the Year with the way he started out last season. Obviously, things were an absolute train wreck that ended between him and the Seattle Seahawks, but I think the Baltimore Ravens got themselves an absolute steal, and his contract in relation to some of the other contracts given out was incredibly fair. I don't know what it is with the Baltimore Ravens front office, but not getting robbed on deals is something they've done very, very well. I'm looking back to like the Lamar Jackson trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. Didn't have to give up a whole lot to get Lamar Jackson. Didn't have to overpay to get an unbelievable all-star and game changer like Earl Thomas. So full kudos to them. And without a doubt, man, Earl Thomas going S tier, has the reputation and the play to back it up. So there you go, guys. That is my safety tier rankings. I'm sure you guys are going to be letting me have it in the comment section below. As always, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. I don't know if this is going to be the end of the tier list videos. They're just nice filler until we have some Madden 20 content to talk about. We could continue to do some college football or do other football ranking videos and stuff like that. I don't particularly know yet, but I'm sure you'll see in the sub box if we decide to continue to do it. First time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying I love Rachel Bush, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.